Hey, first grade, we're going to start math lesson 101. If I get mostly straight. Oh my goodness. Is that sticky note bothering anybody else from when we measured Moses? Okay, we'll take it down. All right, math lesson 101. In math lesson 101, you will have your fact practice. It is to be 3 minutes. Write the answers as quickly as possible. After 3 minutes, say switch. Switch to your colored pencil or crayon and finish up and then double check. This new lesson, so if you want to pause there and get that done, that'd be great. The new lesson we're going to work on right now is identifying, describing, and comparing geometric solids. Okay? Geometric solids have a special name. I'm going to show you the solid, and I want you to tell me if you know the name of this geometric solid, okay? Do you know what we call this geometric solid? I'll give you, almost dropped in. I'll give you a hint. If you put this on top and it was cold, it'd be delicious. Okay, what do we call this one? That's right, that's called the cone. Ooh, that's tiny. Let me zoom in. Should make that a little bigger. Cone, that's right. Can you see it? It's a tiny word that says cone, and that's his picture. Usually I would have the shapes up and we would see them, but there's not really room on the Elmo, so we'll keep going. The next one I'm going to show you is called, who knows what this guy is called? What do we call this geometric solid? That's right, it's a cube. All right, who's next, you might ask? This guy, and it's not ice cream, womp womp. He has a fancy name called the sphere. Sphere. Okay, next. Who knows what we call this? Yeah, that's called the cylinder. Cylinder. Right? Next. Does anybody know what we call this? He has the fanciest name of all. Well, at least he has the longest name of all. He's called the rectangular prism. That's our rectangular prism. And last one we're going to talk about, and you all better know what this is. What is this called? It's the pyramid. That's right. Da, 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 da. So these are the geometric solids we're going to be talking about today. And if you take a look at them, can you find two of the shapes that are the same in some way? You may be thinking, you might have seen, maybe you were thinking about the cube and the rectangular prism. They are flat on every side, aren't they? So that's something that's the same. These two have only flat sides. You might have thought maybe, and I promise you probably are coming up with some amazing answers. I would love to hear, but maybe these two guys, you thought, wow, they're both pointy, point. Yes, these two shapes, the cone and the pyramid, are both have points on the ends. You might have thought, do you think there's anything the same about these two guys? Well, let's see. This guy can roll, and this guy can roll. So maybe that's something the same about these two. They both can roll. And I bet if we went on and on, you would think of lots of other things. So you might also think about what are some things that are different. You might have thought, although these two guys are the same height and they both have flat ends, so they're kind of the same or similar, but can they both roll? Whoops, no. So that's something that's different. You also might think these guys are pretty opposite. All flat sides, no flat sides. So that's also something that's different. Okay, now if we take a look at, excuse me, if we take a look at our, let's take our cube. Like this geometric solid has only flat sides. Mathematicians call these faces. Can you say that with me? Faces. They call the flat sides faces. Okay? The flat side of a cone, the flat side of the cone or the cylinder, actually, though, those are called base and not a face. Although it rhymes. Base, not a face. Base, not a face. Base, not a face. Base, not a, okay. So those are called a base, but these are called a face. All right. Now, if you, which other geometric solids have faces? That's right. If you were looking, you'd see the rectangular prism. He has faces, and the pyramid also has faces. The straight lines where the sides or faces meet are called an edge. So if you take this face and you come together, this is called the edge. So if we're looking at the picture where the faces come together, right there, that's called the edge. Okay, so we have face and we have edge. Which other geometric solids have edges? You're right. We're sticking with the rectangular prism and the pyramid. They also have edges. Okay, now, some of these geometric solids have points or corners. Now, mathematicians like us call a point or a corner, we call it a vertex. Vertex. Say it with me, vertex. Okay? What other geometric solids have a vertex? That's right. The cone has a vertex. The rectangular prism, because he has a point or corner. The prism and the pyramid. Okay? So, what if I show you, here are their names again. The face, the edge, and the vertex. Okay? So flat side, the edge, and the corner or point. Okay? Now, what if I showed you a picture of this? Okay? Which geometric solid does this look like? That's right, it looks like a cube. What is the shape if I showed you the face? Let's just go with, this side. This is called a face, and it is the shape of a square. Okay? So the shape of that face is called a square. And all cubes have faces that are squares. So if he has a square face, he's a cube. And what do you see on them? We have lots and lots of, oops, he rolled away. It's 4. They're dots, right? And do all the sides have the same number of dots? No. We could count we know there are how many sides? There are 6 sides. So all cubes have 6 square faces. All right. What if I were going to show you? I'm going to zoom out a little bit, see if I can get this on here. Let's call this. Oh, it's so big. Hi, guys. I'm so big. Let me zoom out. Oh, I'm zooming in. Let me zoom out. What shape would you call this? Yeah, he's a rectangular prism. And he also has 6 sides. Some rectangular prisms will have 1, 2, 3, 4 sides that are rectangles. This particular one, that's a funny picture. Oh, but that's funnier. Has square ends, but some rectangular prisms, if I were to show you this, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, isn't that pretty? 4, and then the top is a rectangle and the bottom is a rectangle. So a rectangular prism, he might have 4 rectangle faces and 2 squares, or he might have 6 rectangle faces. All right. Now, what about our pyramid? How many faces does he have? 1, 2, 3, and we'll call this his base. Okay. His base is what shape? Yeah, it's a square. But what about his faces? That's right, they're triangles. And he has 4 of them. Okay? So the next thing we're going to do, since we've just introduced and learned about these shapes, we're going to do this worksheet next. Okay? Now, in class, we would have walked around with a partner and found these shapes in our classroom. Either draw a picture or write the word. So why don't you stop here and do that now? Well, let me go ahead and explain the rest of the lesson. So you'll go ahead and do this. You'll go around your house, draw a picture or write the words of things you find that are these shapes. Then you can discuss that with Mom. That would be fantastic. And then after you've done that with Mom, you'll do guided class practice 101, side A, measuring at the top. Then number 4, they've got a picture for you of what we just talked about. Otherwise, I believe everything else on here we've practiced, so just keep practicing the things that you've learned. 51 and 38, you're going to round to the nearest 10, so they're either going down or up to the next 10. And then you'll work on this page and you and Mom can double check. All right, that's lesson 101 in our math. Practicing geometric solids. All right, thanks first grade.